Good morning, friends. Stacey Krolak here on Sip with Stacey, and we have our 2023 president from Las Vegas, and this is Allison Wax, and I'm so excited to have her on today. And we wanted to say, first off, a happy Valentine's Day to all of our friends out there in the audience. And I wanted to read two quotes that touched my heart today when I was thinking about Valentine's Day. And that is, to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. So continue to shine like the whole universe is yours. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for having me, Stacey. I really appreciate it. What an honor to be on your show this morning. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here with you. So thank you.
Of course. Thank you for being on Sip with Stacey. And I'm so excited to shine a light and get to know Allison Wax and get to share you with the rest of the universe today. So let's start out with Allison. How long have you been in real estate?
So I started my real estate journey back in 1999. Okay. Before I was in real estate, I actually was a wedding coordinator here in Las Vegas at the Tropicana. So as you can see, customer service is kind of in my blood, and that moved me into the real estate world, and I've kind of never looked back. It's been a great transition for me, and yeah, I love this industry and all that it represents, and the way that we are able to really make the American dream come true. It's so fulfilling. And for me, I love real estate in all aspects, the good, the bad, the ugly. We take it all, and I've been through it all. But it's been a fabulous journey so far, and I really enjoy the industry and the people in it.
That's great. And what I'm hearing from what you're saying is that you love to serve people. And that's really what it's about. It's about serving others and helping them achieve the American dream. So thank you for everything that you do, because I know that you are making a difference in so many lives. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So now, so 1999, you started in real estate. Let's talk about leadership within the real estate world. Who was the first person that tapped Allison on the shoulders?
So I have a little bit of a different journey than I think most. So while I was in the real estate industry, I worked for a company called Prudential, which you all know now as Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay.
And I started there, and I worked on the marketing side of things. I was assisting in helping other agents potentially grow their business, and really dived into the back end of what it takes to handle real estate on the back side. So I worked on the corporate side, and I worked on the corporate side for many years. So I was with Prudential for, let's just call it 14 years. And the last 7 years I was there, I was the relocation director. So I got firsthand knowledge of assisting people that were moving in and out of Las Vegas. This was such a big move for them. A lot of them were corporate people that were moving in and out of Las Vegas. And so I was creating relationships with corporations, with third-party companies that were working with these corporate clients to move them in and out of Las Vegas. And that's where my true passion started for the real estate industry, in really serving the clients. Before, I was kind of serving agents, and then I turned to really serve clients, both the corporate client and the actual moving transferee, people moving in and out of Las Vegas. And that's been kind of my passion since that day, which was let's call it January 2007. So okay, it's almost 18 years ago.
Yes, that is
16 years ago, rather. Yeah. So I feel like I worked on the corporate side, and because of that, I wasn't submerged in the industry as a whole until about 2013, when I separated myself from that job and I started selling residential real estate and really diving into that aspect and learning all that there was to do, and really all the moving parts of the different organizations that that had opportunities to not only connect with my peers, but consistently learn and grow on the business side.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. That's a great background to take forward to launch you then when you got involved on this aspect. So let's talk about, is there a specific person that tapped you on the shoulder for Women's Council specifically?
So Mary Perry, I joined Women's Council. I actually joined Women's Council and NAREB and NAREP and a couple other of the organizations to figure out where I fit and figure out what was going to be kind of best for me. And I initially joined Women's Council, and Mary Perry actually tapped me on the shoulder and said, you need to get involved, and invited me to help support them. I started helping with social media, and that was kind of the beginning of my journey with Women's Council, and it kind of led me to kind of where I am today. And if those of you that know Mary Perry know that she taps people on the shoulder quite a bit, and you definitely don't say no to Mary. If she's tapping you on the shoulder, you are like, okay, I'm getting involved. I want to be a part of it, and it was probably the best decision I ever made.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, you know, I was at your installation, Allison, and Mary installed you, and that was so very special.
She did.
So
it was extremely special for me because she was part of my journey, has been a huge part of my journey since the inception of me coming to Women's Council. And it kind of was a full circle moment for me. And it just made sense that she was the one that installed me. And for those of you that don't live in Las Vegas, she is actually the incoming, she's the incoming president for 2024, president-elect for the Las Vegas Realtors Association. So she started with Women's Council as president, has moved her way up in the ranks here within Las Vegas, and I'm super proud of her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I believe she also volunteers over at NAR on committees. I've seen her over there when I've been there. So
she does. She's
yes.
got a huge volunteerism heart. She is anywhere and everywhere she can be. She's a huge volunteer proponent. Yes, she's always giving back a lot, specifically on the veteran side. So she does a lot with them.
That's awesome. That is wonderful. Now, let's talk about what is the best piece of advice, Allison, that you have received about your incoming leadership?
So I think I received a couple pieces of advice, and the first one I think was one of the best ones, and that was from my predecessor, Miss Bobby Stardust, who I love and adore. And I got to tell you, we made the absolute best team as president and president-elect. She laid the foundation for me as to how a great president and president-elect should work together. And what she said to me was really valuable is you won't really know how much you're going to grow until you're in the position, and take it all in and absorb it and lean on each other. Well, I'm going to tell you that I believe us working together was probably the best thing for my leadership journey, because I learned things about myself and it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And in leadership, if you're not growing, you're kind of stagnant. And so for me, having her tutelage and support in helping groom me to my best self has been amazing. So I love her. She's amazing. And it's been a fabulous journey so far. Another piece of advice that I got was make sure that you're bringing people up as you grow. The people that are wanting to get involved, get them involved, show them the way, because that's how it started for me, as somebody took me by the hand and said, hey, come on, come into the fold. This is a great organization, and here's why, and you should be part of it. And let's help with your leadership journey. I'm a big proponent of, we have a pretty big board. We've got 12 people on our board, and that's quite huge, but we do have a membership of 250 people. So it's a large membership, and it takes a village. Yeah, it's huge. It takes a village to to do the things that we do, to put on the events that we do. And there is no one person that can do it without an amazing team. And the ladies on my board are unbelievably strong and powerful and dynamic. And we have such different personality types, but somehow it fits and it works. And we come from different backgrounds and walks of life, and we just support each other. I learned this last year, that you have to support your team. You can talk in the boardroom and you can talk about things and you may disagree, but when you leave that boardroom, you are a team and you are supporting each other. And I feel like it shows. It shows that we are a strong group of women that support each other. It takes a lot of different personalities and a lot of different skill sets to do the things that we do. There would be no way for one person to do it. So we rely on our board to make everything happen. And it's great. I absolutely love the ladies on my board. I feel very, very blessed.
That's awesome. And that is such amazing work that you're doing in Las Vegas. And I can tell you from looking from afar, looking in, that's what you project. And I'll give you an example. I was at one of your Power 90s last year, and Bobby was still president. She was speaking and it just wasn't coming together. She was just struggling. And she just turned to you and said, Allison, would you just take over and do this part? And you did. You were there to support her when she was struggling. I'm sure it's yin for yang. It's the same thing, that you two are just helping each other and you're lifting each other as you climb. And that's what it really projects out. So thank you for doing that, because that's the kind of leadership that we really want to highlight. And we want to highlight, people doing good things, being great examples of what servant leadership really is. And I see that when I see the both of you work together, and actually the whole board. Like you said, to your point, you have 250 members, you've got a board of 12. That is amazing that you are all working together cohesively for the betterment of your network. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's interesting because from an inside perspective, looking out, sometimes we don't see what other people see. And so the whole reason why we do what we do is to elevate our industry and to bring people up within the industry so that they can go on to other leadership roles, with whether it be within Women's Council or at our local leadership level or even national. So it's been amazing because we have had so many women within the Las Vegas network that have gone from Women's Council president onto our local board. And to me, that speaks volumes about the type of leaders that we're growing within the network. And I'm super proud of that. I mean, it's been an awesome journey for the ladies that I've seen, take it to the next level. And I think that's what it's all about, is you're consistently growing and learning and giving back. And what's your next step? Where are you going to go? What are you going to offer? What do you have to give? And you figure out what that path is, and you follow that path. And it's different for everyone, I think.
Absolutely. And you lean back on your network and your members, because, if Bobby came to you, Allison, and said, you know what, I want to go up this leadership ladder, I'm sure that all of you would get behind and help her get there, because you know what she's given to you on the local level, and you know the kind of leader she is. And so that's the beautiful thing, is that we get behind our other members and we help take them where they want to go, and then they help us. So absolutely. I just love that. I'm going to call it network love and being
network love. I love that. It's kind of fitting for today.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have done that. I mean, Bobby moved on to the Las Vegas Realtors. She joined the board, and we supported her every step of the way because we saw the journey that she was on, and that was where she needed to be, where she could give back and be super valuable. So we were excited to see her in that new journey for her. So she's there right now. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So now we're talking about, because we're talking about membership, 250 members that you have. Okay. Yes. I saw that Sylvia Seabalt came in. I think it was in January of last year. She gave you a proclamation. I want to talk about this because I was network president in 2015 when Jillian Batchelor was network president in Las Vegas.
Yes.
We each had about 37 members, and now you are at 250. So one, how did you get there? And how are you keeping them? Because we know at national, we recruit 3,000 a year and then we lose 3,000. So
Right.
how are you retaining? I think this is where the magic comes in, because we have to learn how to retain our members, right?
Right, right, absolutely. So I'm going to tell you that Mary Perry's year, which was, I believe, 2015 or 16, was it 16?
Must
You
have been
were
16 because
16.
Jillian Batchelor was
So
50.
Mary Perry's year, she had a vision of growing the network to, 200 people. And she just was tapping people on the shoulder saying, you need to get involved and here's why, and putting on valuable valuable resource lunches and mixers and connecting with other organizations within the industry so that when you left an event with us, you had something tangible to really truly implement in your business to elevate it to the next level. And she started with that and just grew the network immensely. And I believe the leaders that came after her have continued on that same path, because you have to consistently provide value. If you're not providing value, your members are not gonna stay. They're not gonna see the value. So you have to tote it. You have to show what the value is, and then you've got to implement it. So for us specifically, I know that we've been on that trajectory. And back in 2020, we started with this was the brainchild of my current president-elect, Miss Maria Rita Velez. We started a mentorship program, and the mentorship program has been, I believe, invaluable to our local network, because not only are they getting all of the things that we offer nationally to elevate your business, all the Women's Council benefits and everything that we do, but they're getting on the local level a mentorship program. And basically what this is we identify four ladies that have been on the board, that have moved up in the industry and that have done a certain level of business. And those ladies become our mentors. We give an ask to see if they're willing to do it. And we have ladies that become our mentors. This year, we've got Melissa Zimbelman, Christina Kova-Simmons, Christina Chipman, and Bobby Stardust as our mentors. And these four ladies are powerhouse women in the industry, but they all have different stories. And basically what we do is on a quarterly basis, we have, let's just call it, if we have 30 people that are joining our mentorship program. And this is not only new agents, but this is also, it could be seasoned agents. Anybody can learn from these women and glean something from what they have to give. And so on a quarterly basis, and I believe the first one is Friday, they are going to round robin, let's just call it 6 or 8 people that are going to sit with these women for an hour and have them share their trials and tribulations, what got them to where they are, and help these ladies in their business and give them all of the nooks and crannies that they have to give about the real estate industry to help them immediately try and elevate their business and support them on their journey. And I'm going to tell you, this has been so powerful. Mm-hmm. One of the ladies on my board, Jessica Burney, is a mentorship graduate. She went through the program and she's our mentorship chair. So nobody better to handle the mentorship program than her, because she's been through all of the steps and she knows what a value add this is for people's business. So I'm going to tell you, this has been one of the things that we've been utilizing for membership, to say this one thing is something that you may not be getting. You may be getting something, within your own brokerages, but this is something that's included in your membership that can help you in your business. Mm-hmm. And I believe, based on the feedback that we've seen, not only from our mentors, but the mentees, that mm-hmm. this has been such an invaluable program, and we are so excited to launch it this year.
That's awesome. That is just another level of leadership that you are providing your members, and it is value and it's needed. And just to know that, you know, they have the support and the advice of these ladies that have come before them, and they're just lifting others as they climb. That is so beautiful. Thank you, Las Vegas, for doing that, because you're truly making a difference, and it's showing because of your membership, you know.
Well, and I love the fact that all of the women that are mentors have all been presidents. Melissa Zimmerman has been national president, so she can speak from a national level on Women's Council and her leadership journey there. And the other ladies all have, like I said, have all been presidents of our local network, and they've all gone on to do different things, and they can speak from a place of, here's where I started, here's where I went, here's where I'm going. And it's so valuable. And so people in the industry, like I said, new agents, even seasoned agents, they're going to take something away that is valuable to them and be able to implement that in their business.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Now, getting back to membership just a little though, because I know we have
Sure.
network presidents here. What
Yes.
are maybe like one or two little tidbits that you can give them, other than the, you know, the mentoringship that they could do to increase their membership? Something
So
that Las Vegas is doing.
So we have done wind down Wednesdays, and specifically what we did is actually at the beginning of this year, we did new year, new you, new headshot on a wind down Wednesday event.
Okay.
And we found a photographer that we know and love, and she opened up her space to us, and we brought in wine and charcuterie, and she offered free headshots to members only. And I'm going to tell you, we probably had 8 to 10 members sign up, maybe more than that. I'll have to look at the numbers just to come to that event. They were maybe on the fence about it, but you know, getting a new headshot, coming, checking out Women's Council, doing those kinds of things. And we're going to continue on that path of doing those wind down Wednesdays, you know, every quarter, so to speak. The other thing that we're doing on a quarterly basis is we have our first one actually tomorrow for the year, is our member orientation. And what we've done is we're not calling it new member orientation, we're calling it member orientation. And the reason why is because if you're a new member, we want you to come. If you're a seasoned member, but you need a refresher on what your benefits are and everything that Women's Council offers, we want you there. If you're a potential member and you want to find out everything that Women's Council has to offer, you need to be there. So I can tell you without a doubt, I've got 70 people signed up for that event tomorrow. And that's pretty powerful to say, wow, we're at the beginning of the year. We've got 70 people. I can tell you based on the list, not all of them are members. Maybe half of them are members, which means we have a new other half that are coming in to check us out. And I believe that if we leave it open to non-members who are interested in Women's Council, they can then see what the benefits are and sign up right there. We have, we're going to have our education gal there and maybe one other with our computers ready to sign people up. And so we'll have them sign up right on the spot. And I think that on all of our flyers, we have a QR code now with Women's Council sign up. We are doing everything we can to really promote our network and why Women's Council and what we do to elevate people in our industry and the leadership journey that you can have, because we want to grow people within the network. We want people to move up. We're always trying to replace ourselves, right? So we want people to see the value and move up in the network.
That's our biggest job as leaders, is to always replace ourselves. So I love that. Okay, so what I'm hearing, network presidents or president-elects around the country, what I'm hearing is provide value, make it easy for the member, orientation recap to all members, because isn't our savings center, our website, it's changing constantly. There's always something new and that we didn't know about. Oh, I didn't know that tool was in the toolbox over here. So you're going to learn more value. You're going to learn more benefits of the council, and use a QR code or have your membership committee there to make it easy for them to register. You know, type it in for them and just ask them for the credit card. Make it easy peasy, because that's the key. And then bring them into the fold and educate and support. That's what I'm hearing. Did I forget anything, Allison?
No, and the other thing that I want to say is, when we get them to sign up in past times, we have a bell that we ring when somebody new signs up. So we make a big deal about it. We get excited about it because it's a big deal. They're joining our network and we want to support them. We are also doing shout outs every Monday. We're calling it Membership Monday. And our social media gal is posting for welcoming new members and welcoming members back that have renewed. So we're consistently trying to make sure that they feel valued and supported from the get-go. We also send a welcome email that kind of goes over all of their benefits and what we have to offer. The other thing in the member orientation is we ask them to bring their laptops so that we can help them get on Radius, get signed up, so that they know this is a huge referral source for you and you should be utilizing this. I can tell you it's been fantastic for me. And if our members are not taking advantage of this absolute great benefit and tool of connecting with other members across the country, they're missing out on something spectacular. So they, Women's Council members want to do business with Women's Council members.
Yes, and that brings me to another point. I've heard Charmaine Hickey, president of Florida, say this from day one. When she walked into Port St. Lucie network, they loved on her. And they just kept loving on her. And that's what you're doing. And that's what means so much, because that new member is like a new baby. We just need to care for them and love them and show them everything we have to offer. And to your point about Radius, that is so important. Claim your profiles, put your picture on there, fill out all of the details about who you are, what areas you service. You will get referrals. And the feed on there is just similar to Facebook. I mean, I put inspiration, but I also put new listings, open houses I have, buyer seller ones, and that is so important. You will get referrals, because don't forget, the number one reason why members join the council first is not leadership, it's actually referrals. We are the top referral network. So if you want to grow your business, get involved in Women's Council. We will actually grow your business, but we will grow your leadership at the same time, which is so important, because it always upsets me when I hear leaders say, oh, I can't wait till the year after I'm president so I can grow my business. And I'm like, oh, no.
Why are you not growing it now?
At the same time.
Yeah.
We do.
Absolutely. So you touched on something that I want to elaborate on. So when somebody comes, let's just say it's a brand new agent, and we've been really fortunate to have brand new agents and also seasoned agents join the council. They've heard about it. They maybe have never been to an event, and they, for whatever reason, heard it was clicky or whatever the case may be. And it's our job to then take them by the hand when they come to their first luncheon and love on them, like you said, and take them and make them feel loved from the beginning, supported. I think our network does a really good job. We have such a big board and everybody is so supportive of one another. But when you come to an event and you don't know anyone, it's extremely intimidating to walk into a room of, let's just call it another 130 agents, and it's intimidating for a lot of people. And so helping someone and take them by the hand and sitting them and introducing them with maybe a longtime member that can be kind of their support system in that room is so unbelievably amazing. And I've heard from members on multiple occasions that they were so excited because they didn't feel alone. They felt supported from day one. And to me, that is an organization that I will absolutely hold at the highest regard, which is why I feel extremely proud and blessed to be a president of our organization locally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. I love the excitement. I love the momentum of Las Vegas. Even at your installation, it was so beautiful to see so many committee members. You brought everyone from your committee up there and you got installed as a unit. I felt team unity when I was there. And so thank you for projecting that, because that's how I felt being in the audience.
Oh, I love hearing that. I think that's the goal, that
Mhm.
people feel loved, supported, and a team. We can't do it without each other. That's for sure. This is not a one-woman show. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. And I have to do a shout out to your son. Can we talk
Oh,
about your
thank
son for a
you.
minute? Oh my
Thank you.
gosh. If anyone needs somebody to come sing at an event, a house party, whatever, oh my gosh, he was fabulous. And it was his first performance, right?
It was his very first performance. So my son, I'll just give you a quick little context. So he loves crooning. He loves Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. That's his genre of music. And he is 20 years old, and he had only performed up until last November at karaoke. He did have a coach. He's had a coach for about a year. So he's been working on his craft, but that was the first time he ever got in front of a live audience. And we had well over 200, 220 people in that room. And he amazed everyone. And I got to tell you, I was such a proud mom. It's been unbelievable. He's had about 4 or 5 paid gigs since then. And I'm going to throw out there, he does have a website. It's Noah.Vegas. And if
Okay.
you're interested in finding out more about him, he is pursuing the career. So I'm excited for him, and we'll see what happens. So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. No, Noah.Vegas, you said?
Noah.Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
NOAH.Vegas.
Okay. I just put
So
it up there for everyone. Okay. I mean, for 20 years old and having that deep voice and everything, when he sang Sinatra, I was like, what? Like it's amazing. So look him up, please, and let's support him, because he's just great.
thank you for
I
that.
have to read some stats here, because these stats just blow my mind. Okay. 85% of all consumer purchases in the US are made by women. Okay. Globally, okay, women stand to inherit 70% of the 41 trillion of intergenerational wealth transfer expected over the next 40 years. Is that amazing? Those stats?
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. So let's talk about numbers here. About 75% of us from under the NAR umbrella are women that sell real estate, but only about 23% of us are sitting in committee chairs and, raising our hand. And so we have to ask ourselves, why is that? And how are we going to change that? Because if these numbers which are correct, which I believe they are, we are leaders. We're going to be leaders in financial areas in the world. So let's support, let's make a commitment to support the women leaders that do raise their hand. Let's get behind the other leaders so they can be sitting in those committee chairs and making those decisions, because there's a lot of weight on our shoulder, and I believe we have a lot to give. And so it is so important for Women's Council, when we think about this, we're the 1%ers at NAR, but we really sit in 23% of the chairs. But I know we can do so much better. And so that is the challenge that I pose for everyone out there. When you see one of our Women's Council members wanting to raise their hand, wanting to go in a certain direction, let's all get behind them and help them, because I think that means so much. And it speaks to the volume of our network and who we are.
I agree. I think when people want to get involved and you see them moving in a direction and they happen to be Women's Council members, boy, oh boy, we get behind them in droves. I think that the power of our network on a national level is unbelievable. And what I love most about this is I have sisters in every state. I have sisters in every state that I could call or email and say, I need help. And I know they would be there for me in a minute, and vice versa. And the relationships and the camaraderie that I have felt from this organization
Mhm.
is an unbelievable feeling, which is why you keep coming back for more.
Mhm. Let's call that the good stuff.
The
Okay.
good stuff for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because that is power, that power of collaboration that you have built by going to Network 360, by going to mid-year or national. You've met these other leaders around the country, you've developed relationships. So let's talk about if you're out with one of your clients and they say, Allison, I have a relative, I have a cousin that wants to move to Las Vegas and she's currently in Florida. What do you say to them?
I absolutely have a connection for you in Florida. I have a network of amazing women that I can reach out to that can assist with any of your needs, and let me make a connection for you. And I immediately go to my database to see who I have in that area. And if I don't have a connection there, I will go to Radius, and I'll start looking for somebody. And I'll ask my women's council sisters, who do you know? Who can you recommend? And I've been fortunate enough to be recommended by multiple people. And that is such an amazing feeling. And I want to give that right back.
Absolutely. And that's the power of collaboration. When you have that in your back pocket and within minutes, you can identify someone in a different state, in a different city, to help your client's family move from one part of the country to the other. That is so special. And so that's the good stuff.
Absolutely. It is the good stuff.
That is the good stuff. Okay, let's talk about professional credibility within the Women's Council. So you're out maybe at your association or your Chamber of Commerce, and when you tout that you are the network president of over 250 women, let's talk about how that professional credibility speaks for you and how that's helped influence in your market.
It's been fantastic. And I love that you mentioned the chamber. So I'm extremely involved in my chamber, the Vegas Chamber. I'm actually an ambassador of the chamber. So I am very involved, and I have had such a fabulous, warm reception when I tell people that I'm involved in Women's Council and that this year I'm the president. It's been an amazing journey, and they look at me in a way of, wow, you are credible. You are credible in the industry, but look how you've moved forward in your career and in leadership. And it says something about me as a person. And I'm super grateful for that, because it is about professional credibility, and not everybody is in a position to build on that leadership journey. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've been afforded. And I'm grateful to be in this position, because it does show I'm credible in the real estate community, in the industry as a whole.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And then it shows your dedication. You've put in the hard work, and others see you doing that good work. And so people notice that, and that's what's so important. And you may take this leadership to the chamber. You may take this to your HOA. You may go up to NAR. There's so many different areas that you can go after you learn our leadership in Women's Council. And so that's another beautiful benefit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this gives you the foundation, because it is about teamwork. It's about leadership and leading a group of amazing men or women on your board, and influencing your membership to consistently elevate our industry. And for me, I'm not sure where this is going to take me, but I know it's going to take me somewhere. Haven't quite figured that out yet, but it will for sure. And I'm grateful for that.
That's right. We just have faith and we keep on going. I love that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is one of my favorite questions. Allison Wax, were you born a leader?
So my mother would say yes.
Thanks, Mom.
I have always been talkative. I have always been assertive. And And so one of the stories my mom likes to tell is when I was 5 years old, I was a little bit, initially I was shy.
Okay.
And then I started kind of coming out of my shell, and there was a talent show at school. And when I'm in kindergarten, probably that whole year, I am out of my shell. I am loud and proud, and I am friends with everybody. And my mom says they came to me and said, we want Allison to MC the talent show at 5 years old. So when she tells me that story, I go, well, that makes perfect sense today. So I think things that scare you push you. And even at 5 years old, I guess I had leadership skills, and people saw that. So I've put my toe in a lot of different things. But I love that story because I'm not going to tell you that I probably wasn't scared. I was probably petrified, but at 5 years old, they trusted me to MC a show, and I thought that was pretty funny.
That's fantastic. I love that. I love that. And I love to ask this question because I could just see people going back in their mind, and just thinking about all the thoughts. So I just love that. I love that you pulled that out. That's great.
Oh my gosh. Well, and here's the thing too, is I am not the leader that I was even a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. I am consistently building and growing on the things that scare me.
Mm-hmm.
If it scares you, then you're doing something right. If you're getting pushed outside of your comfort zone, guess what? You're probably doing something right. And do what scares you. Consistently push yourself to do better, to do more. For me, I'm not complacent. I can't just be at one place. I have to be growing.
Mm-hmm.
And Women's Council has given me a great platform to do that. So I'm grateful for that.
That's wonderful. Well, we are so honored that you stepped up, you raised your hand, and that you are giving to the Las Vegas Network and to Women's Council, because it shows. And we're honored to have you serve and represent us. And so we love that. We are already at 9:45. We've been having so much fun digging into you, Allison. I want to close with this last question. I want to thank everyone for being with us. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. But we're going to end with this last question. Allison Wax, what is your dream for the Las Vegas Network?
So my dream for the network is to continue to elevate women and men in our industry. Mm-hmm. Some people may not know that are watching that, yes, we have men in our industry. Mm-hmm. 10% of our membership is men. Mm-hmm. And I want to leave it better than I got it. And I want everyone behind me to do the same, that we are consistently growing the network to mm-hmm. do bigger and better things. And not only are we growing the network, but we're growing the leaders within our local network. Mm-hmm. to really say, hey, you can have a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. You can elevate your business and still be part of Women's Council, because people a lot of times will tell me, why are you with Women's Council? You're just with a bunch of other agents. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, I am, but let me explain why. It's mm-hmm. because these are the people in our industry that we're doing business with, that are mm-hmm. on the other side of a deal. You never know who you're going to need to connect with. And Women's Council has afforded so many opportunities for you to potentially get the deal closed, because you now know the agent on the other end, and you can pick up a phone and call them. And the relationships that are made within this council are mm-hmm. priceless. Mm-hmm. And so going back to your question, I know I got off of it, is I want to leave it better than I got it. And consistently bring value to our industry and help women and men leaders grow, just as it's helped me.
That's amazing. I mean, if that continues, your membership is going to grow because they're going to feel the love, and that's what it's all about, is love, support, and lifting others as you climb. So I love it. I love what Las Vegas is doing, and I love to visit there. Thank you, Allison, for being a servant leader to the Women's Council. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for being on the show on I can't even say it, Valentine's Day.
Thank you for having me, Stacey. It was an honor and a privilege to be on your show. So thank you again for the ask. I appreciate it.
You are so
much.
welcome. Have a
Happy
great day.
Valentine's Day to you. Happy
Okay.
Valentine's Day. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.